Jessica stared at the package, her mind racing with questions. Brown paper. No name. No return address. Just a symbol she didn't recognize. Something almost ancient. Unease coiled in her stomach. It wasn't her birthday. No special occasion. No reason for this. Why did this package make her skin crawl? She brought it inside, her heart pounding. The air inside her small apartment felt heavier, oppressive, as if the walls were closing in. Jessica hesitated, then grabbed a knife. Better safe than sorry, she thought. The paper ripped, revealing a plain wooden box, unmarked and unassuming. Inside, nestled on black velvet, lay a device, unlike anything she had ever seen. Metallic, smooth, with a single glowing button that pulsed gently. A shiver ran down her spine. This wasn't right. This wasn't normal. What was this thing? Jessica's hand hovered over the device, trembling slightly. She wanted to throw it back in the box, forget she ever saw it, but she couldn't. But something drew her in. Curiosity? Or something else? An inexplicable pull she couldn't resist. A small folded note lay beneath the device. Jessica's hand trembled as she unfolded it. "They are watching," it read. Her breath hitched. Who was watching? The phone rang, jarring her. An unknown number. Fear choked her, but she answered.
"Don't trust anyone."
The line went dead. Panic swelled in Jessica's chest. She paced, clutching the phone. The device pulsed with a faint, eerie light. A terrifying thought bloomed in her mind. What if the messages were meant for her? She examined the device again. The metal felt cool against her skin. The button seemed to pulsate in sync with her racing heart. Fear warred with an unnerving curiosity. Jessica called Sam, her best friend since childhood, the one person she trusted. "Sam, something weird is happening," she began, her voice trembling.
Calm down, Jess. Tell me everything.
Jessica poured out the events of the last hour. The package, the device, the messages.
Jess, you need to get out of there, now.
What? Why? What's going on, Sam?
Sam's reply was cut off by a sudden burst of static on the line, then silence. Fear choked Jessica. The apartment felt colder, the air thick with unseen menace.
She glanced out the window. A figure stood across the street, shrouded in shadow, watching.
Lights flickered. A low hum resonated from the device, growing louder. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, unintelligible murmurs swirling around her.
She backed away from the device, her heart pounding against her ribs. Paranoia gnawed at her. Was she going crazy? Or was something truly sinister unfolding?
The figure moved, stepping into the pool of light beneath a street lamp. The face, obscured by the distance and shadows, sent shivers down Jessica's spine. It was time to leave, now.
Section 5. The countdown begins. Jessica grabbed her phone, her fingers fumbling to dial 911. But the line was dead. No dial tone, just silence. She tried Sam again, her heart sinking when it went straight to voicemail. The device pulsed with an urgent rhythm. It was warmer now, almost hot to the touch. The glow from the button intensified, bathing the room in an unnatural light. A countdown appeared on the device's surface. Numbers glowed, counting down from 60. 60 seconds. Fear, sharp and cold, shot through her. Her mind raced, trying to make sense of the impossible. Who sent this device? What did it do? And why was she chosen? Section 6. A race against time. 45 seconds. The clock was ticking down relentlessly. The whispers grew louder, morphing into distinct voices echoing through the empty room. They spoke her name, over and over, a chilling chorus urging her to press the button, their tone growing more insistent. 30 seconds. Jessica's apartment door rattled violently, as if it would burst open any moment. Someone, or something, was trying to get in. The doorknob jiggled violently. Terror lent her strength, pushing her to act. She barricaded the door with her bookshelf, her heart pounding in her chest. 15 seconds. The device pulsed with frantic energy, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The room throbbed with its power, an almost tangible force pressing in on her. The voices reached a fever pitch, a symphony of dread urging her on, filling her with a sense of impending doom. 10 seconds. Her breath came in ragged gasps, her mind racing with fear and uncertainty. She had to make a choice, a decision that could change everything. Trust her gut and run? Escape the terror that surrounded her? Or press the button and face the unknown? The choice was hers alone.
Jessica, press the button! Jessica! The voices called out, relentless and unyielding.
Section 7. Facing the Unknown. 5 seconds. Her gaze locked on the pulsating button. It called to her, beckoning her with an allure she couldn't explain. What would happen if she pressed it? 4 seconds. Was this a trap? A way to silence her? To stop her from uncovering something she shouldn't? Or was it something else entirely? 3 seconds. The doorknob ripped from the door. Splintering wood announced the intruder's imminent entry. There was no escape. 2 seconds. Her finger trembled above the button. A last-ditch effort to take control, to choose her own fate in the face of unimaginable terror. 1 second. Jessica closed her eyes and pressed the button. The world exploded in a blinding flash. Silence descended. The air, thick moments before with whispers and dread, was gone. Jessica opened her eyes, blinking against the after-image of the flash. Her apartment was gone. She stood in a vast, empty white space. No walls, no ceiling, no floor. Just an endless expanse of white. The device lay at her feet, dark and inert. Disbelief warred with terror. What had she done? Where was she? A cold wind whipped through the emptiness, carrying the faint echo of laughter. It was a sound that promised pain, a sound that spoke of ancient, unknowable things. Jessica was alone, utterly and completely alone. The silence stretched, broken only by the sound of her own ragged breathing. She was adrift in a sea of white, a prisoner in an impossible void. The device lay at her feet, a tangible reminder of the life she left behind. Had she been saved? Or condemned? Jessica picked up the device. It was cold now, lifeless. The button no longer glowed. It was just a piece of metal, an empty shell. Or was it? The faint echo of laughter returned, sending a shiver down her spine. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. It was a sound that mocked her fear, a sound that reveled in her isolation. She was trapped, and something was watching. Jessica closed her eyes, willing herself to wake up, hoping that this was all just a figment of her imagination. This had to be a dream, a nightmare. She pinched herself, but the pain was real. But the cold emptiness surrounding her remained, an unyielding reality she couldn't escape. The device grew warm in her hand, pulsating with an almost lifelike energy. A single word appeared on its surface, glowing with an eerie light. Welcome. It felt like an invitation, or perhaps a warning. The laughter grew louder, echoing around her, filling the space with a sinister presence. Jessica sank to her knees, the weight of her isolation crushing her. What was happening? Where was she? The questions swirled in her mind. And what did they want with her? Who were they? The white void shimmered, then began to dissolve, revealing something hidden beneath. Shapes formed in the distance, vague and indistinct, like memories just out of reach. A city? A landscape? Or something else entirely? The forms were tantalizingly close, yet frustratingly unclear. Jessica stared at the shifting forms, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and a strange, unsettling anticipation. What lay ahead? The journey was far from over. It was just beginning. She steeled herself, ready to face whatever came next.